I'm very big on anytime I do a DIY or craft project, I want to use things I already have. So I had this tissue paper left from a different project, and I have tons of plastic Easter eggs. And then instead of using Mod Podge, because I didn't have any, I'm using this tacky glue, and the lid was pretty much glued shut, and this is literally going to be the only time I use it, and then it's going to get thrown away because it's pretty much dried out. But again, use what you have. So for the tissue paper technique, I really like just getting the glue on the tissue paper that, as you can see, I'm doing right here. And I am just using a cheap little brush. This is probably like a watercolor brush, and covering the tissue paper. And then I'm taking the plastic eggs that I have, and I'm literally just wrapping it around. On this one, and I'm going to show you a couple techniques, but on this one, I cut the tissue paper so one piece would completely cover the egg, and I'm just wrapping it through around the middle first, and then I'm going to go through and just fold over the ends. It is completely fine for this to be overlapping, for there to be folds, creases. As I circle it around, I enclose the egg. I am trying to push out air bubbles and get the tissue paper as flat as I can. Just because it looks nice and it acts better when it's dry. Because if you have the air bubbles and it's dry, it's kind of like hard and crusty and just doesn't feel the best. Here I'm showing you the tissue paper alongside one I did with music sheets. Same concept, you're going to do the same thing. So I had that chunk of tissue paper that still had some glue on it, so I'm just going to use it on my next egg, but you can see it doesn't cover it completely. So another method you can use is just to rip up little pieces of the tissue paper or the music sheet, whatever you're using. You could do a map, you could do napkins, you could literally do about anything. So on this one, I'm doing more of a patch technique than having it completely wrapped in one piece of tissue paper. So again, putting glue on the tissue paper and then trying to be sure to cover up the whole egg. So I don't want, the color of the egg peeking through. And you can see I just ripped it off. So once the tissue paper gets damp, it's super fragile, and so you can tear a little bit off, patch it over a hole. I am adding glue. You can add glue on top of the decoupage or this tacky glue on top of your tissue paper, and that works fine too. So here are some finished eggs. So an easy, quick DIY project.